guess start off with the announcement for today and what led to the decision to go the way that you're going with the club leadership.
Well, you know, you had to give we have a new coaching staff, completely new staff. You had to give us time to talk to the players, get to know the players. The changes don't just start with the coaching change. We're going to change the way we play. We want to be a much more aggressive team. So the coaching has changed. The style of play, we're going to initiate a more of an aggressive, pressure-orientated system and be a harder team to play against. And now is with a new staff. It's a good time to take a look at the changing the leadership of the room as well. So it took some time, but again, in fairness, we got a whole new staff. We don't know the players. I can tell you this, that, and I've said this before, I was very encouraged all summer talking to the players. Like, this is a much, much tighter group in the perception of the room. And so that was very encouraging for me. Also, you could tell their tone and their wording that they wanted to accept more responsibility. Like, they're all very disappointed what went on last year, but that's behind us. So now we have changes, and that just included the way we're going to go about the leadership of the team.
So is this more about more people stepping up as opposed to one person leading?
Yes, it is, and we want the core group to grow a little bit, and so it's not one face coming out here talking to the media every day when things don't go well. Like, we're a family here, and that's what I'm trying to tell them. We're all in this fight together every day. We're a family, and we all have to be held accountable. We have to support each other. We have to help each other. We have to push each other, and that's what we're trying to establish. But in order to do that, you need more people in there pushing. You need more people pulling it together. And really, that's what we're trying to do. Blake is still going to lead. He is. And whether you have a C or you don't have an A, you're still going to lead. I've been around the league in some capacity or another for 47 years. Some of the best leaders I've played with and coached never had an A, never had a C. You're going to lead, right? But what we're trying to do now is get some of those, not younger guys, the more guys in that group to take that responsibility and be proud of it.
So in trying to get more people to step up and take that responsibility, I don't understand how Blake wearing the C would stand in the way of
He's
more
not
people.
standing in the way. That's not what we're doing here. He's not necessarily standing in the way. It's just we're just trying to get more people involved, like we talked about. So again, Blake's he's a key part of this team. He's going to be a key part going forward. And it's just, okay, let's get more people. Let's get more people involved. Well, it's just a different way of trying to get that to happen.
How would you characterize the conversation with Blake?
Well, listen, you know, Blake's an intelligent, articulate guy. I'm not going to put words in his mouth. I'm not going to speak for him. That's a conversation between a coach and a player, and that's where it's going to stay.
Was there agreement on it, though?
That's a conversation between a coach and a player, and that's where it's going to stay.
So I get that, but not saying anything almost seems to more indict
Well,
that
listen,
there might not have been.
we've got to be able to have conversations with our players privately, man to man, without every little thing being
Right, but you would-
dissected. We had a good conversation, let's put it that way.
But you would assume that a longtime captain wouldn't take the news of getting stripped of the captaincy very well.
Again, I'm not going to put words in Blake's mouth, and I'm not going to speak for him.
Rick, would he be under consideration to be one of the alternates, or do you need fresh voices in that area too?
We'll see. And when I say we'll see, that means I know what I'm going to do. And I'm not ready to share it with you. So when you hear me say we'll see, it's usually, yeah, I've got a plan. I know what I want to do, but I'm not ready to share it with you.
What have you learned in your conversations with some players about people that you think should be wearing letters or are ready to take on more of a leadership
We'll take the letters right out of it, and there's more people that want to, they will just, you could just tell, I want to get more involved, I want to be a bigger part of the team. So, and those guys are going to come up whether they get an A or they don't get an A, and it goes back to what I said earlier. There's sometimes players, some of the best leaders never wore an A, never wore a C. So those guys you're talking about, they will still want to get, and I'm going to help them grow there. That's our job as coaches. We're going to help them grow. And whether they end up with an A or they don't end up with an A doesn't mean we're not going to still try to work with them to help them grow.
Did you get a sense, though, that from talking to the players, that perhaps they weren't being allowed to?
No, I never got that sense at all. I just got the sense that I think they were just all listen, and I said this before, things just went sideways. For whatever reason, I wasn't here. I wasn't part of it. All I know is that they're very anxious to get back on the ice. They're very anxious to get back together. When some of my first conversations were all at Josh's wedding, there's like 14 of the guys there, right? And I'm just, I sit in my office here. It's great to hear the camaraderie. They're joking, they're laughing, they're having a great time in there. And as a coach, that's what you want to hear. And everybody I talk to here, they're dying to get to camp next week. They wish camp was starting now. So, the feeling is that they know last year's behind them. They know there's changes, and there's a lot of changes coming, and they want to be a part of it, and they want to grow with it. That's what the bottom line is.
Today, after that decision has been made, do you feel like the dressing room is a better place already, or is it going to take time to?
You'll have to, like, I'm not, again, we're not allowed in the room yet. We're not around, we're around, but we're not allowed to do a lot of things right now, so that'll come. That's why we'll see. We got 21 days and 6 exhibition games, and we'll have it all sorted out by the time we start on the 14th.
If everybody is excited to get back, everybody's looking to move forward, and everybody can lead with or without a letter on their shirt, why are we having this today at all? Why is Blake Wheeler losing the captaincy of the team?
Well, it's just changes. We're changing. That's what we're doing. We change the coaches. We're going to change the way we play. We're changing the way we do things. That's all.
Last
So a lot of changes are good. Sometimes changes are good.
Last season, during some of the struggles, Blake was fond of, saying we're a young team. That's been a narrative around this team. And the press release that quotes you saying that it's about moving the leadership towards that core group. Is Wheeler a bit of a generational island in the leadership group of this team now?
No. He's a big part of the team.
Rick, in your time as an NHL assistant or head coach, is there a template for going through a season like this where you've had rotating A's and not a C that you're kind of looking for?
Well, I was in Vancouver. We went from Louis to Hank, right? So we've been there. But the difference there is that we were an established coaching staff, and we knew the players, and we knew Hank was ready. We have a whole new staff. We don't know our players very well. Yeah, we can talk to them on the phone and everything else. We don't know them. We don't know their daily habits. We don't know their practice habits. So we have to learn those things, and that's why the change. Like, give us a chance as a coaching staff to come in here and get to know our players, get to watch their habits, help them grow. You've got, again, so when we did that in Vancouver with Louis and Hank, it was, okay, we're an established, we know all our players, Hank's the guy. Well, we don't, so give us a chance to get to know the players a little better.
But you know that Blake's not the guy.
Pardon me?
But you know that Blake's not the guy already.
Well, we came to that decision.
Do you have a number in mind? I mean, will you have 4 alternates, or what will the rotation be?
Well, we'll see about that. Good try, though.
Should we set it over under?
Good try. Like, I get these, it's like coaching today. The biggest change is the terminologies. Like, we're all saying the same thing, but we're using different words, so you're just coming at me with different words.
No, I want to have an idea of if it's 2 one night, 2
we'll
another,
see.
or some
Yeah.
teams do home and road. I mean.
Yeah, well, those are all possibilities. So that's what we need, 21 days and 6 games to figure it all out, right? And by the end of this, we're going to make the right decision. But again, give us time to grow with the players.
You touched on some things you were looking for, but what are some of the qualities you were looking for in people who wear a letter, knowing that not everyone has to wear a letter?
Just, listen, I've always, since I've got into coaching, I've always wanted my players to come to the rink happy to be there, excited to be there. and come to the rink and work hard with a great attitude. And that's what we want to see from all our players. We are so fortunate to have the lifestyle that we have, to be in the National Hockey League every day. It's a blessing, and I never want our players to come to the rink, it's just, oh, it's another day, it's another practice, it's another video. I never want that. So it's important for us to get to know the players and create that atmosphere so that we know, okay, this guy needs a little work, we gotta pump him up a little bit, or this guy, let's calm him down a little bit because he's over exuberant, right? So again, we need training camp, the coaches, to sort this all out, and we will.
Are you working towards identifying a captain, or is that not important to you? Like, is
That'll evolve naturally. That will just naturally evolve. We're not the only team that's not gonna have a captain. It's not new. There's other teams in the league that don't have captains. It's not new. So, yeah, that will evolve.
There seems, pardon me,
Are we gonna have the same question, different words? Is that what I got?
I'm looking for, rearranging the word, no.
Okay.
With everyone sort of on a level playing field, the alternates, one of the big conversations about the team coming out last year, again, was accountability of minutes. Does it make it easier to put everybody on the same level playing field?
Yeah,
Do it the way
it
they
does.
do?
That's right. We're all starting from square one, coaches too. So we'll work together. So I told them today, we're a big family, and we're in this fight together every day, and we're gonna support and help each other out every day, and that's what goes back to getting to know the players and things like that. So we've got to find out, excuse me, those things, but we will.
Hey, guys.
All good?
Thanks.
Thank you. Good try.
That's the job.
You guys are tough.
Yeah.
I don't know, I might, what did I do? I had to. Whoa.
Need to put it out there.
Pro Max? It was only like $5 more a month than I was paying for this little 12 here. Yeah. And I have to give this back because it's part of the bill, it's like twice return, so I have to get it, so.
I got the SE 20, basically 11,
Oh.
and an 8 body.
There you go.
So, yeah, I'm ready.
The biggest thing I've read.
And 700 for a new phone. How much was that? 13?
So like, it's a kind
You
of
get
like,
it.
not a player, 256.
Well, I'm great, Ken. How are you?
Great,
Yeah,
thanks for
thanks.
asking. You have a good summer?
I did, thanks.
What was your reaction to today's news?
There was some surprise, I think, having kind of your first conversation with a new coach was surprising, but I've had time to let it sink in, so, he gave me a little headway, so it's, I had time to process it.
What was the conversation like and how much time have you had?
Between me and Rick.
We heard him say the same thing a moment ago.
Like, I don't remember the exact date, I think it was April 27th, we had an availability with you. And I remember the comment was something along the lines of, you know, this is pretty raw, asking for your opinion of what should happen moving forward. You said, I don't even know if my views match management views. Did you have that conversation, and now looking back, would that maybe lead to part of today's decision, or would that?
I mean, I hate to speculate. I'm not gonna tell you what I think they're thinking. Certainly after disappointing seasons, there's conversations between management and not just myself, but every player on the team. So that's no different last year, as you know, a year we felt we could have won it all.
I don't know how much you want to share of your reaction, but, you know, he says he's gonna do this by committee. Are you set out to vie for an A, or how are you gonna respond to this?
I don't need a letter on my jersey. You know, I think there's a time in my career where that validation was important to me. I don't need that anymore. You know, I'm really looking forward to watching, you know, a lot of the guys that I've had a privilege watching kind of grow up, step into sort of an expanded role. And, you know, if you think that because of this I'm just going to fade into the back and not be a leader on this team, you know, you're sorely mistaken.
Did it become a burden at all, like wearing the C in this market?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, there's nothing in my life I've taken more pride in than that, outside of, you know, being a husband and being a father. Every day since I was named captain, you know, that's what's gotten me out of bed. You know, how can I be a better, you know, teammate? How can I be a better leader? How can I be a better player on the ice for this city and for this team and this organization? So yeah, at a certain point, you know, that can wear thin on you, but I'm incredibly grateful that, you know, I've had this opportunity. That's how I feel.
Like we've seen this, you know, with other teams. I think Joe Thornton in San Jose, Dustin Brown in LA went on, and those teams seem to get better. Is that what your wish would be out of this, that this team moves that needle forward the way you're all looking at it going into this year?
Of course, yeah. You want to have a, you know, more successful season than we had last year. So if this is you know, what's needed to do that, then that's great. I guess we'll see how it plays out.
Have you reached out to any of those guys to see how they handle the transition at all, like whether it would be Joe?
I have not. No.
How do you feel this changes your role, if at all?
I think you kind of just asked me that, didn't you, before?
I don't think so.
Well, like the same thing. I don't envision it changing my role at all. I mean, I haven't had those conversations with Rick yet, but you know, my plan is to you know, contribute to a winning season. You know, kind of no different than I've ever come into a training camp.
So you said you don't need the A anymore, but you also talked about how much pride, you know, getting you out of bed, and having the C. Having that taken away, what kind of emotions come with that?
I just couldn't be more grateful that I've had that opportunity. I mean, never in my wildest dreams as a young player growing up, I mean, that I never thought I'd be in that fraternity of being a captain of an NHL team. So, like I said, you know, it's what's given me so much joy, and just, you know, gotten me out of bed and given me a lot of drive for this organization in this city. And like I said, I mean, I look back and I'm just grateful that I've had that opportunity. You know, that's how I feel.
After a down season, why were you surprised that this happened?
We just had that.